Drop a bomb, 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 bomb.
Back with a vengeance. KG's back with an entrance. Big up to those in attendance.
Look at this.
Reds come together like Tetris. No rules, this one's reckless. KG, this one's crazy.
You're too lucky at this.
None can compare with the KG Don. Better take cover when he drops that.
Bomb,
Going
bomb.
on reckless, trust it's on. It's that time when he drops that.
Bomb, bomb. I said drop a bomb, Dad.
Hey, listen.
Let's go.
Listen. Do you know what, guys? Welcome to the first show with me and Preem with the face reveal. Preem face reveal.
Face reveal.
This guy loves himself. I can see it already. Look at that.
It's up to
Hey, guys. Hey, today's show. Hey, first of all, actually, make sure everybody likes. Please hit the like button straight away. There's not many in here right now, so if you could please hit the like, I'd really appreciate it. We've got a good show that we're going to have a good conversation today, at least. Yeah, I know that much. First things first, I want everybody to make sure you go and also check out everybody's channels that's in the chat as well. Brush kindly listed everybody in there, so please maybe go and subscribe to them if you haven't as well. Now, on to today's show. I think Yale posed the question quite well. That's why I've left his comment up on the screen. Yeah, it's 6 months until the summer window opens. Would it be wiser to just wait to see what the strikers can do with Amrim's coaching them? Would it be wise? I kind of think it would be. I think we should give the strikers a chance. He's already shown that he can get these strikers striking. So why not hold on, let these guys develop a little bit longer and see if we don't need to spend that extra money? Because technically, we've got at least in the last 2 games, we've got 3 guys up front that are banging in goals. No?
Yeah, you do make a lot of sense there, and I agree with you as well. There's no point of us getting a striker right now. People can say, "Oh, we're struggling for goals," but I feel like we should wait to see what Amrin can do, and then when it comes to January, we can see, okay, cool. There's so many things people we can actually buy within that transfer window. Do you know what I mean? There's no point of just going straight for the striker. We can get the main striker in the summer window to get it. And Amrin's already showed his tactics already, what you can do. Like the previous 2 games where Hoyden scored 2 and Xerxes and Rashford scored 2. So to bring another striker right now, I think it'd be too soon. It's like premature, you know what I mean? Even if one person gets injured, I don't think.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think we've got depth enough, even with the likes of Rashford. No, honestly, for me, I wouldn't even mind, look, I would rather play Hoyland up front or Xerxes with the way that they're performing right now. And then if one of them does get injured, I would rather put in Rashford. He can still do a job.
Yeah,
he's already shown that he can do a job. He does a job up there. He scored a goal. He might have relaxed after that, but he scored a goal. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it's true. Like, even if one person gets injured, Amarin's able to differentiate. Okay, cool. Who can go in there? Who can like? It's not that bad. Do you know what I mean? So I'm done. Hell, I'm real. Man, you want me to do the flex?
No. See, hear this. My man said the immature. Say, I know all about premature and depth. Yes, I know you do. Red Devils Down Under with the 9 kids deep and all that in it. Yeah. So, but what I'm getting at is, fam, that I need to know if we actually need to go out and get that in the winter transfer window, because talks are starting now. So more than likely, it's going to be January transfer window that we're going to try and get him in. Wouldn't it be better to try and get a left wing back right now?
Yeah, 100%. Go get Davies. Like that's for me. Go and get Davies. Like last contract.
Now, if we can secure that, yes,
yeah,
secure
man.
that. Even if it's a deal where we secure it for the summer, because I know he's out of contract, innit? Yeah. So technically, he can start talking to international clubs in January transfer window. So boy, get it straight away. I'll be really on that right now.
What are you saying about Frimpong as well?
Frimpong, he's a right wing back.
Yeah,
he's a right
bro.
wing back.
We need, bro. Come on, like let's think about it. Do you know what I mean?
Frimpong or Ronaldo.
I would say
Mazraoui. Mazraoui will be playing there eventually. Once we get our centre backs back, Mazraoui will be playing there. Why do I
Yeah,
look so red? I look funny.
No, you're good.
Anyway, but
You're good.
anyway, no, honestly, I would rather spend money right now on a left wing back. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna open the lines here, so we're gonna bring some of the delegates into the chat right now. Yeah, we've been yapping for 5 minutes. So for me, I feel like if we don't get somebody like um Davies right now, yeah, we need somebody like Davies or what's the other one that's been touted recently from
What team?
what team was it? I heard GV talking about him this morning. But I can't
Grimaldo.
remember the name. No, it's not Grimaldo. It's another left wing back. But anyway, I'll find the
Hernandez.
name soon. No.
Teo.
But even Teo, though, someone like Teo, wouldn't it be nice to get somebody like that?
That'll be a good signing. That for if that will complete our left side, if we can have him or that. But that's what I'm saying. That's the main signings for us to now talk about strikers. I feel like it's a bit too much right now. Do you know what I mean? Like Amarin's just came into the team. Like let him build his philosophy first before he starts adding in players. So we don't want to do the whole 10 hog thing again, where we're just flooding him with money, and then he's just like, okay, cool, I've got all this money. What do I do with it? But I think he'll be more smart to see what he needs to do. So.
Boy, I don't know. Ram, that's the guy I was actually talking about. It was him.
Oh, he plays in German League, innit?
Yeah. That's the guy I was talking about. Thank you, Christian, and thank you, Ika. I don't even have to say your name. I'm gonna say Mafete. Yeah, I have to say that first name.
So
Ikage.
name, bro.
I'm not gonna even try. Let me stop that.
Ikage.
So okay, listen. I said stop it. Listen, you're from the Caribbean, right? Bream, where you from? Where's your family from?
Me, Nigerian, bro.
Yeah. You're from Nigeria. So you should be able to say that. You should be able to say that then.
Ika gang.
Talk the talk, fam.
Ika gang.
Hey, you don't be embarrassing yourself. Yeah.
You said just call him Ika. There you go.
Ika, yes, bro.
There
Okay,
you go,
listen.
Ika.
I'm gonna bring in the first caller right now. I don't know how is this gonna go. First caller with Preem. Let's go, Pav.
Yo, man. What we done? We chatting to Preem, or is this King Batch?
You can never tell me I look like King Batch. No way, bro.
Bro, Google it. Google it and tell me this guy don't look like King Batch.
A little bit.
Of all the names I've had.
Bro, as soon as I saw the stream come on and I saw him, I was like, is that King Batch? That's the first thing that come in my head.
This guy will bring me back to Vine.
Maybe he looks like his cousin, but he don't look like King.
King Batch, you know, bro. I'll take that though.
Hey, let's not do that. We all look the same thing here. Let's continue, Pav.
Bro, if I say who you look like, bro, you'll be in a prison too.
Let's continue. Yeah, let's continue. Yeah. Anyway, bro, let me ask you this question. Yeah, with the likes, we've seen what Amrim's already done with the squad. Yeah, do you think we actually need to go out and buy a striker in January, or should we just hold on?
I don't think we're getting one in January. Maybe next summer. I don't think that we've got the facilities to do a big buy in January. These man are putting up ticket prices, and you're telling me they got money.
Exactly.
Well, what
maybe
January?
Maybe one or two small deals. But we're not getting much money for Lindelof, bro.
Exactly. How much is he going to be?
We're getting. Listen to this.
Who else could we sell?
Do we sell? I told you, I would have sold Xerxes back in January, but even that, what do we sell him for?
I think I would leave him now, though. I would let him cook.
Can I say something? You see, one game, yeah, he scores 2 goals, yeah, and now apparently everyone's turned the new leaf and saying, nah, he's the truth, he's all this and that. After like slating him for weeks, after all them weeks, what we've seen of him, yeah, 2 goals, and apparently he's the best.
No, but you know what that showed me? I'll tell you what that showed me. No one's saying he's the best. Well, I'm just going to tell you my opinion, yeah? I'm not saying he's the best, fam, but what I am saying is that maybe I was shooting my gun at him too fast, fam, yeah? I need to be a little bit more reserved when it comes to judging these young players who's brand new.
He's not young, though. He's not young.
Okay, he's young enough, bro, and he's new to the league. Yeah, we gave other people way more time. People were still calling for the likes of, what's his name? What was that,
how many players can we say that need time? Can we afford to keep saying every person that comes in needs time? Because if we say that, then we're just going to be in the same position we were with Turn Up, waiting on these players to turn up.
Fam, how much time has he had, though? He ain't had much time.
But then why would the club bring him in when we're already waiting for one man to do something in Hoyland, and now we're going to bring in another man who needs time?
Well, maybe they thought that if between the both of them they could score around the same amount of goals, it'd be all right. Between both of them, we might get 30 goals, is what they thought, innit? Who knows? Maybe that was the thinking behind it.
Wait, are you
Because
talking
they
about the
both
club?
score 15 goals.
For
Yeah, the
Hoyland?
club, the people who come in. Why would they bring in another man who needs time when we got another man who needs time still? It
I
makes
think
no
both of
sense.
them needs time, but
No,
it
but then
wasn't.
why would they do that, knowing that we were struggling to score goals last year? Knowing that there was a perfectly good striker at Brentford who went for 40 mil to Saudi Arabia, but we had the money to pay 34 for this guy.
That I agree with you 100% because we could have got Tony, but then remember our first choice was to get Kane in it, and that fell through because he went to Bayern, and then I feel like we looked at Tony, and then the ball was like, no, we would just get Xerxes. Was it no? Because Ten Hag didn't want Xerxes in it, or did he want Xerxes?
I don't know. It's
I don't
hard
know.
to believe anything that comes out of this club's
Yeah.
mouth or the managers nowadays. And I think Amarim's probably the only one who actually is just speaking sense when he's in press conference. He's not doing nothing over the top. So yeah, like the people saying that for that reason we should get rid of Hoyland. I go again. That's my point. We brought in strikers who weren't ready.
Yeah,
So
it's
it
true.
doesn't matter Xerxes. Xerxes just there because I see more from Hoyland. I see more aggression. I see him getting into the spaces, like pushing into the box. Like Xerxes can improve, but like what I've seen, since he's been there, it was like, what have we bought? Again, well done for the
See
2
more link
goals on
up
the
play.
weekend. If he carries on, fair enough. But I still think when you've got clubs like Brighton who have got 4 to 5 strikers, why are we moaning about not having 3? Why can't we have 3? What? Because some of your favourite players might not get game time. I don't care. I do
Okay,
not care.
I don't really think
The
I have
amount
any favorite players anymore.
the
Most of my
amount of
favorite
games
players
we
are in the
have
back
to
line.
the amount of games we have to play every season now, bro, you need 3 strikers. What if Xerxes and Hoyland are both injured? What if Amram wants to play a 2 striker up top? Yeah. What about that? If Brighton can get game time, this is Brighton, who can get game time for 4 to 5 strikers, yeah. No, none of their players are moaning about not getting game time. Obviously, they're a selling club. They'll sell them on after and bring in more. Why can't we do that? Yeah, we're sitting there now. I've seen clubs like City moaning about squad depth. Look at it, what the squad depth they used to have. Why can't we have that to go challenge for titles?
Okay, hold on. Uncle wants to talk to you. 1 second.
I drop it.
This is the thing, though. This is the thing, though. Yeah, I'll let you stay here for a little bit longer till Uncle drops in. Yeah, but
Oh yeah,
I
by
want
the way,
to.
before Uncle comes in, Gyökeres, I want him in, innit? I want a prolific goal scorer, who's doing it, and he's killing it right now. So bring him in.
You know, I'm not gonna disagree with you. Yeah, the whole point of today's show is to ask the Man United fan base what they think. Yeah, what they think about bringing in this player. Do you want to give the players that are already starting to score goals on the Amrin system time, or do you want to bring in a prolific goal scorer now? F what they are doing, just bring in a goal
See,
scorer now.
we sat here and
Pavis
moaned
been bringing
about
a goal scorer
we
now.
sat here and moaned about Ten Hag getting these players injured, right? Because he was working them too hard. Yeah, with Amarim's system, you can see the intensity that he wants to play at, the running that these players are doing. Eventually, some of them will need to get rest. So we need a big squad.
But remember what
We
he's
need a
doing
big squad.
in his press conference. He said that when he plays one team, he rotates in it. So not everyone's
Exactly.
going to play each game in it. So one team will play like against Everton. We rotated players. Do you know what I mean? So I think if that works well and we don't get enough injuries, I think that could be benefit for us.
Because
You know
look at what happened in our first season, after we won the Carabao Cup. Did we or did we not drop off big
Yeah,
time?
100%.
Exactly, because players start getting tired. Yeah, the energy levels weren't there. You need a big squad for the entirety. You want to compete for all trophies? Yeah, you want to fight till the end? You need a big squad. Injuries will happen. You can't expect these same players. They're already moaning that they're playing too many games. They're already moaning.
They're moaning, but here's the thing, though. I already see that Amrin rotates a lot more than Ten Hag did.
Yeah, that's
So
what I
maybe
like
some of
about
these
it.
injuries won't happen.
Other people are getting a chance.
Uncle, you're
I
here.
keep asking, and I will ask again. Why can't we get developmental players? What is all this fuss about getting already made? The Tony that you're talking about, we could have gotten Tony last season. First of all, we'll pay him how much? And so far in the Saudi League, Tony has scored only 3 goals in a league that is way worse than the Premier League. So what is this Tony hype that you're talking about? Only 3 goals so far in the Saudi
And
League.
how many goals? How
So
many
if
goals was he
said
scoring when he was in the Premier League, though? How many? We're talking
hold on,
about. You're talking about the
but
Saudi
that's
goals, yeah.
but
Talk
that's
about the
hold on,
Premier League
hold
goals.
on,
Talk
hold
about the
on.
Premier League goals.
Hold on. You're talking
hold
about the
on.
past. I'm talking about the present. If Tony has scored only 3 Premier League goals this season, by this time of the year, this same Man United fans will be killing him. How much are we paying Tony? He scored only 3 goals, and how much are we paying him as for wages and all that? So far, he has scored only 3 goals. You're talking about what he did in the past. The last season he was in the Premier League, how many goals did he score? His last season that just finished. How
Well,
many
you
goals
got to
did he
work out because
score?
he didn't play till the end of January.
You got a
But,
ban in
but
it.
when he was playing, but from January, from when he started playing in January to the end of the season, how many goals did Tony score? Tony is not the same player he was
I need to
before
have a
the
look.
ban. So let us not pretend like Tony would. Okay, and that's what I'm saying. Regardless of what he did before, if he had come in and between September to December, he scores. How many goals does Zexi have? 3 goals in the league, and we are bashing him like this. If Tony has scored these 3 goals that he has scored in the Saudi league, in the Premier League for Man U between when the league started till December, how many of you will be saying give him time? He has scored 8 goals in 16 games in all competitions. In all competitions, he has played the Asian League, the Cup, where he scored 3 goals. But in the Saudi League itself, he has scored 3 goals.
Well, Uncle, they're saying that they've scored eight. He's actually scored 8 goals in 16 games in the Saudi league. That's what someone's saying right now.
No, not in the Saudi League. He has scored 3 in the league itself. He has scored 3 in the Cup, and then I think he scored 2 in some other competition.
Right.
My point is so. My point is
I'm not,
I'm not
Uncle.
criticizing Tony.
I'm not talking about bringing Tony back now. That time's past, isn't it? That time has gone for me. I'm talking about like you got Gyökeres available. Yeah, why can't we bring him in? Why can't we not have 3 strikers? Are you against that?
But what are we using 3 strikers for?
We had
To get goals, rotation, goals, mate.
Rotation.
What strikers are there for?
So if you
So
bring
what happens?
in
What happens
Amorim's system, you need 1 striker per game.
And then what happens if that one striker gets injured?
We bring in the second striker.
And then what if the second striker ain't doing nothing?
Yeah.
So how do we know whether the second striker? How do we know the third striker is going to do something?
And as far as I've heard, everyone here comes here and says Xerxes not a striker.
I never said that.
Every week I've heard this.
And
he's not a striker.
over the weekend,
he should be taking Bruno's spot. That's what I hear.
He played as a striker. Over the weekend, he played as a striker. He scored 3 goals. My point is simple. I'm not saying Gyökeres will not be a good player in Man United. The point I was trying to make with Tony is you can go to a different league and perform differently. You understand? There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee that if Gyökeres comes to this league, he will be better. Plus, he'll be 27, which is not a bad age for a striker. But if he takes 1 season to settle, by the time we are not sure if in the second season he's going to start scoring. He struggles in the second season, then what happens?
But I'm not expecting him to come here. Hold on. Yeah. I'm not expecting for him to come here needing time. I'm expecting him to come here and start off strong. I want him to score goals straight away. If you've got Amram here, and he's trying to get these players to play a system, then he should fit in perfectly because he's been playing that system.
This is what I was about to say, Uncle. Yeah, 1 second. Let me just say this. The thing is, you sound very pessimistic right now about the situation. At the end of the day, if we're going to bring in a player, the same thing that Ten Hag was doing, when you bring in players that should already know your system, you expect them to land and settle well because they're doing the same thing they was doing where they were, Uncle. So for me, I have no problem with actually bringing Gyökeres in. It's just that I want to know if we need him right now. Yeah, I wouldn't. If it was a January transfer window thing, I wouldn't bring him in right now. If it's a summer transfer window thing, obviously yes, bring him in then. Yeah, but I feel like the guys that we have now should be able to do a job till the end. And do you know what? Even if they do bring him in the winter time, I ain't gonna be mad at it.
Bring up that guy's comment again, the one, not him, the one before. He said that Doss used to look good in that team as well. Yeah, but Doss wasn't slapping up teams in the international break either. My man is slapping teams left, right, and centre for Sweden.
So the point I'm trying to make is this: I don't think Gyökeres conversation should be a conversation until the summer.
I agree with that.
That is the
But then you've
summary
got
of the point
reporters
I'm trying
talking
to
about
make.
it. Credible reporters talking about that we make contact. So should we
Yeah,
not
but
talk
the
about
same
it?
credible report said we were definitely bringing a left back during the summer, and then what happened? One thing which if there's any pattern that you have noticed since Ineos came in, is that a lot of these reporters don't know what's going on regarding Man United transfers. If there is any pattern you should notice since Ineos came in, a lot of these people do not know what is going on with Man United transfers, and it's very simple to see.
Whoa.
The reason why they're linking Gyökeres to Man United and Man City is it because Man City has their former sporting director and we have their former manager, or is there something more to it?
You do,
understand?
Uncle.
First of
You
all,
do
he's
know
not going to leave in
he will
January.
end up at a top team. You know that for a fact. He's ended up at a top. I'd rather him
But
come to
what
us
if our two
than him
strikers?
go to
What
one
if
of
our
our
two
rivals.
strikers play? What if our two strikers play fantastic between now and the summer?
But how many goals are we talking?
If that happens, then yeah, we're good, isn't it? But
We
I
don't know. That's which is exactly why I said it's a conversation for the summer. If our two strikers perform fantastic between now and the summer, it's not a conversation to be had. A lot of us were mocking Nicolas Jackson last season. Look at how Nicolas Jackson is playing this season. So if they had brought in Victor Osimhen over the summer, how would Nicolas Jackson have performed to the extent he's performing?
Uncle, say
And they would have paid big money.
Yeah, if there's a chance here that this club wants to bring in a first striker and they said they want to bring in Osimhen, are you going to moan about it then?
Between now and the summer, if our players play well, Osimhen should not come in.
Okay, I just wanted to check because he's his countryman, innit? I just wanted to check, innit?
First of all, Osimhen's injury record is not always the best. First of all, you need to go and look into it. His injury record is not always the best. And secondly, we are going to pay him we are talking about strengthening other parts of the team. If our strikers are delivering by the end of the season, why do we want to waste money and bring in other strikers when we can strengthen other parts of the team? It's the question I'm asking.
But maybe the club wants to bring in 3 strikers. Maybe they want 3 strikers. We used to have 4 back in the day.
And I'm not against bringing in a third striker. I'm saying if our 2 strikers are performing well, instead of spending money on an Osimhen, why not bring in another striker that we can develop? Since our 2 strikers are already going to be performing well by the end of the season.
But we've got 2 strikers that we're trying to develop.
Which I said end of the season.
And the third one. And the third one as well. And the third one.
Which is why I said end of the season. And I told you performance by the end of the season. You understand? My emphasis has always been.
We bought a striker from Arsenal, don't forget. Yeah? That guy is doing bits as well. Yeah.
That Chido
he's
guy,
developing right now. Yeah, Chido.
Yeah.
He's doing
exactly.
Well.
So we have a developing striker. That is the point I'm trying to. So if you're bringing in all these strikers, what is the pathway for this young guy? And my emphasis still goes back to if by the end of the season, Zexi and Højlund are performing well. If they're not performing well by the end of the season, then that's a totally different conversation. I don't mind bringing in an already made striker.
I agree. This is what I'm trying to say. But hold on, let me see what Cody's got to say, you guys. I'll bring you guys back in a second. 1 second. Right.
I actually want to ask Uncle something. I actually want to ask Uncle something.
Uncle's still here. There he is.
First of all, good morning, everyone. Second of all, Uncle, you say if these 2 strikers start performing well, yeah. So let me ask you something. What do you think is a good goal return from a realistic good goal return from Xerxes and Højlund
this season? If we can get 15 goals from them, from each of them this season. 15 from Xerxes, 15 from
15 goals each, and that's 30 goals collectively, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So do you think that's going to be enough for us to do basically to ensure Champions League by any route. So either win Europa and finish top 4.
For the strikers' contribution, that should be enough. Mind you, it's not only strikers that score goals in teams, but if your
No,
strikers
you're
can
absolutely
chip
right.
in 30 goals,
You're absolutely right. You're
exactly.
absolutely right. But I just what the case I'm trying to build here, Uncle, is that firepower may just get us over the line for what we're trying to achieve this season. If we achieve it and we get into Champions League next season, that firepower definitely is not going to be enough. 30 goals across the 2 strikers. You could even push it. Give them 20. Say they improve again by 5 goals each next season. Yeah. Across the course of the season, in all competitions, to say that our strikers, who are only going to be on the pitch 1 at a time, are going to bring 40 goals collectively, I don't think that's enough. So,
But why
when you
do
look
you
at
think
both,
the firepower will not work in the Champions League when Rasmus Højlund has one of the best records in Europe of any striker as it
Uncle, I'm
stands?
not saying that he won't score. I'm not saying he won't score. I'm saying those figures aren't going to be enough for you to go and put out a decent run in the Champions League and have a decent finish in the league. And we're also probably going to be expecting some sort of domestic trophy as well, because that's going to be his first full season. So we're not going to want to walk away empty-handed.
Oh, so let me clarify myself. The 15 goals I was talking about is just in the Premier League. Let me just for the sake of clarity, not in all competitions. So if they can give us 15 goals each in just the Premier League, I think we are good to go. In just the Premier League, let me emphasize on that.
You think Uncle means other people will be scoring goals as well, though? You know,
Exactly. Rashford will score. Our defenders will score corners. You know, all of these things. So there will be goal contributions from the entire team. But just for the strikers, if by the end of the season they can give us 15 goals each in the Premier League, I think that conversation for a ready-made striker should hold on for now. If they don't give us that by the end of the season, then we can have a conversation.
Yeah, I respectfully disagree. Personally, I feel like I think we need more firepower if we're going to be setting our sights higher. Like that might scrape us over the line this year, but we need more firepower if we're going to be talking about the likes of
Real Madrid. Does the firepower have to be a striker? Before Haaland came in, how many times do strikers finish as the top goal scorers in the Premier League? What about the wingers in your team? What about the other attackers? Does it only have to be the striker?
In a time when we were playing counter-attacking ball, you had Rashford banging in 30 goals. I give you that. But we're not playing that system. So I don't know why you're expecting Rashford to turn up with 30 goals in a system where he's being asked to adapt.
So why can't we upgrade Rashford?
What do you mean?
If Rashford does not perform.
Well,
if Rashford does not perform, why can't we move him on?
We tried, bro. We tried.
And this is the thing, Uncle. We can.
No, I'm not saying make Rashford play better. I'm saying move him on and bring in another person.
Absolutely fine.
If the strikers give us goals,
love to do that.
We can absolutely do that. We can absolutely do that. But now you're coming around to my way of thinking, which is actually we will have to make upgrades. We're not going to be able to.
Oh yes, for sure.
What we have. So when you make the point of why we're going after a striker, well, actually, it's necessary, especially if you pay attention to how the striker operates, i.e., the same striker we're talking about. He does a lot on his own. I don't know if you've seen this guy play, but we don't really have a striker of that profile. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he finishes with both feet. He'll take a man on. He'll take the ball on a wing. He'll take the ball in a false nine. He'll also get on the last man for you. Like, he is genuinely only out there to score goals. And like,
yeah, but a lot of times the Gyökeres goals are handed to him. A lot of what the other players walk the goal for him. There are occasions where he does it by himself. Occasions.
Have you seen his one-on-one play? Have you seen his one-on-one play? Like in terms of
I've seen his one-on-one play. I've seen his one-on-one play.
He's good at
but it's something that can be coached. But a lot of Gyökeres goals are balls that other players run in, and that's why someone has said the number of shots we're taking from outside the box has reduced because they didn't do that in Sporting. The manager will not allow you to shoot from outside except on rare occasions. You have to walk the ball and pass to Gyökeres to score.
Well, here's
Yeah,
the
Watch a
thing,
lot
though.
of their
No,
highlights.
hold on. But here's the thing. That's the thing, Uncle. Yeah, this is another reason why I think maybe a lot of the fan base are trying to get Gyökeres in as early as possible. I know that the report's already saying that it's going to be a summertime thing anyway, which for me is probably better. But right now, I think Rasmus can do the same job that he wants to get certain people to do. And once the delivery starts getting right, yeah, it's all about the striker to just finish the chances that are provided once the system starts providing those chances. And it
no,
looks
Joe.
like it's starting to provide the chances. That's my opinion.
Joe, I'll be honest. That's why we
Joe,
need Gyökeres. This is about profile of striker. Like we don't actually like some. There's a lot of goals Gyökeres scored in the 23-24 season. Yeah, where he's literally had to take on 2-3 man. Like we don't have a striker that can do that. We don't have one that can do that.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I feel like Amorim is trying to get the best out of Højlund first this season, and then if anything happens later on, then he'll go for Gyökeres, innit? Because Amorim can see Gyökeres in Højlund, innit? But he needs to push out his potential, innit? So once that potential, if that potential does come out, I don't know, then that's a conversation for later.
But Kareem, just to add on to that, yeah, this is like my real theory is I think he turns because we're all assuming we go on with, if we get Gyökeres, then it means we've got 3 strikers. I don't think that. The number 10, we've got 2 number 10 positions, and actually it's a bit of a problem, especially when we look at rotation. Yeah, rotation means a lot of people need to have like basically 2 positions, and few people are ticking that box. Ahmed's ticking that box. You can put Ahmed in a 10 or a wing back. You could put Bruno in a 10 or in a centre mid. You could put, the striker's the striker. Xerxes kind of fits that box in terms of you can see him doing a 10 and we've seen him doing a striker. However you feel about it is different, but you've seen him do both. Yeah. Now there's certain people where that's not necessarily a given. Rashford's not a given in a 10 or a striker. Garnacho ain't a given in any of them 2. As much as I love Garnacho, he's not a given right now. Until he starts making some adjustments to his game, he's not a given. So you bring a Gyökeres in, it might mean that actually you've seen less of Rashford being forced into a 10. You see more of Xerxes playing in a 10, where he plays more naturally. And you've got Gyökeres and Højlund up front as your 2 striking options. That's actually, if you look at the profiles of the players, the options, and how we're trying and what he's trying to execute, that might actually make a lot more logical sense, and it's how everyone still fits on this board, except for some of your fan favorites like Rashford and Garnacho, depending on how they develop. Because actually, this whole selfish thing that people are getting onto Garnacho about, it might make him more suitable to be like a shadow striker 10. You're not going to get playmaking out of him, but if you pick him up on like the edge of the box, you know he's going to make a run and cause problems, and the striker will be there to either clean it up or even get on the end of a fumble pass. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, but I see a vision for that.
So 2 things I would one is a contribution and one is a question for the rest of the panel. The first thing is regarding the number 10s. Rashford and Garnacho are not they're not really shoehorned into that position. That's how Amorim plays. One of his number 10s is usually a winger, and then one is a number 10. So that one stretches the play on one wing and the other one cuts in to create space for the winger. So him playing Garnacho or Rashford is very intentional. He wants to use the width on the left and then play a natural number 10 that will pull the defender inside and create space for Ahmad on that right hand side. Then the question is, how much are we willing to pay for Gyökeres, saying that his contract expires in 2028, and his release clause, I think, is about 70 million pounds. And they don't have
you paid a 70 million. Is it euros?
You know, we paid more for Højlund. We paid more for Højlund. You know, I don't mind paying that 70.
I don't understand why. I don't understand why it's a conversation. I really don't understand why it's a conversation.
We paid more for Højlund with less of a CV. Like, why? I don't mind that. That's fine.
Yeah, but that was not what we were supposed to pay for Erasmus. And if it was Ineos would never have paid anywhere near that amount for him. So we don't compare a bad business to.
If you've got a striker who's putting up the numbers he is, in his league and internationally, you have to pay the release clause. Because
Yeah, I don't
if you
think
didn't
that's a
have a
lot.
release clause, you paid more. You would end up paying more.
Yeah, I think
I'll
he's
be
worth
honest
that
with you
70
guys,
million.
70
It's not that
million for
much.
a top goal scorer is not a lot of money. And especially with the strikers market being absolute wash right now, it's perfect. And in terms of trying to replace Rashford, Garnacho, or get other system players or whatever, right? The market isn't great for those two. So you want a goal scoring midfielder, the market ain't great for that too, right? At the moment. So
Well,
if
if
you
you want
have
a
Let me
goal
just say,
one
scoring
let me
person,
just say
midfielder,
early,
you go by works,
One
innit? You
mic,
go
one
by
mic, one
work.
mic.
yeah,
Go on,
but you get one person that actually does their job, and you know we're talking about 15 goals here, 20 goals here. He's probably going to get us 30 easily, right? And you got to remember other teams as well. They are grabbing anyone that scores goals. Man City did not need Haaland when they were winning the league without a striker, but they wanted these 36, 30 something goals to do a little bit more in the Champions League as well, and they got it. That's what he was there bought for. So why are we sitting here having a discussion or waiting for one person to develop, this person developed? We've had 10 years plus of development, hoping that we'll get back to the top. Rebuilds. Get me a striker that scores 30 goals a season, please. The other two can develop it in the background. Then move on to the next place, then the next place, then the next place. I think we hold on.
And so what's the long-term plan? What is the long-term plan for? If we bring in, let's say, and this is another question. Let's say between now and then, because this is a transfer for next summer, right? So between now and the end of the season, we say he's trying to get Amorim is trying to get Rasmus to play like Gyökeres. Let's say between now and the end of the season, Rasmus has improved considerably and has scored a lot of goals and has improved. Now, this is hypothetical because we are not at the end of the season. But let's say he has improved and he's scoring goals, and you still pay 70 million to bring in Gyökeres. What's the long-term plan for Rasmus and for Zexi? Because Gyökeres is at the peak of his powers, and regardless of what we are talking about, Haaland. One of the reasons Julian Alvarez left was because he wasn't seeing enough games. He didn't feel like he was getting enough games, and he left. If you see potential in Haaland till the end of the season, and you bring in a Gyökeres that may likely not want to be benched because he's at the peak of his powers, and he's also had not always benched in Sporting, what will happen to Rasmus and Sex?
This is a
Well,
question
you
of
move
man
them
management.
on.
Yeah?
If they don't want to be here,
No.
if they don't want to be here, yeah, you move them on. You sell them for a good price and move them on. We bring someone else in. You want to
This is a
moan?
question of
You want to moan about
I don't understand
rotation?
why this is a
Hold up.
conversation. They either
Hold
match
up, hold
up
up.
to what Gyökeres is doing. Sorry, let me finish this point, Joe, because
No,
I've been
yeah,
quiet for a long time.
Go on.
They either match up to what Gyökeres is doing and make the job for the manager harder in terms of team selection, or they go find another club.
Yes, I
It's
fully
simple
agree
as
with that.
Stop this
100%.
nonsense.
Look how much money. City made off Alvarez. They bought him for what? 24 mil. Sold him for nearly 80 because the guy wanted more game time. Cool. We're so Hoyland, didn't it? We bought him for what? 70. We're selling for like maybe 85 if he does good. Make a little
I don't
money
even
off him.
think can I
Well,
just
hold
say,
on
I
one
don't even
second.
think
Go on. Last point on this point because I want to change the conversation. Go on.
I just don't even think it goes to that. Look how young Hoyland is now, yeah? At the moment, we've slapped an 80-odd million price tag on him, and we're Manchester United. And everyone every week is saying we should be better than what we are. Like you say to Hoyland at this age that he's at now, and you just played it out as well. Look how many years Hoyland has got left in him. You can be a big part in us winning the league, which this guy who's going to guarantee us 30 goals, you could be a big part in us picking up other trophies along the way and growing your craft and learning from the guy that you're actually meant to mold into anyway. Yeah, you can do that. He's only going to be here for like 2-3 years. Then he's going to be old. We're probably going to move him on anyway. We're probably only going to give him a 2-3 year deal. And then you become the main guy. Well, and by that time, Hoyland's only like 23, 24? So really and truly, all we've done is taken the pressure off of him.
The thing is, Stanley, I can't actually drop ads. Yeah, I don't have control of the YouTube settings. I only have control of the StreamYard settings. But guys, come on, man. Why are you not hitting the like button? Like, honestly, There's 160 something people in here. Yeah, at least just each of you just slap the like button quickly before we move on. Oh yes.
Whoa.
Wait, can
How
I
many
ask
likes do
something
we
real
have
quick?
here? No. How many likes do we have here, bro?
Tell them.
52. Are you a bastard? Like the thing or you're a
Hey, if
foolish
we
bastard?
get
He said
150
what?
likes, yeah, little Yo-Yo will take his do-rag off.
I might, you know. I might.
He said what?
I might.
That's funny. Hopefully the hair is herring.
Wait, let me add something to what Coley said real quick. We have to remember that Emery's only like on a 3-year contract. He can't be waiting around for people to get better. He has to get people in now that want to score. That will make the team better. I think that's one of the things that Ten Hag messed up on. He trusted too many young players and didn't get players in that could like help him win right away.
I think Ten Hag chose the wrong players to bring in. How about that? That's another thing because he trusted the wrong players when he brought certain people in, bro. Like he had the run off the mill, bro. Yeah, he brought in Anthony. He brought in Lucha. He brought in who else did he bring in? He brought in what's that other dude?
From where?
Mount. He brought in Mount. He brought in the Loneys. Yeah.
Casemiro.
I think we can give Onana his props now, innit? Like I keep seeing these videos resurfacing of Onana saying I was the best keeper in the Champions League, and you all want to like throw me away now. Yeah. And he was like, "I'll show you." innit? I can't remember which channel it was with, but I keep seeing that video resurfacing. So he's doing okay. We give him his props.
Yeah, for real. Shout out to him.
Now. I say sorry. I'm gonna say that's one person I'm gonna say sorry to is Onana. I doubted you, and I should have given you more time. This is what I'm saying about the likes of Xerxes.
And I will just drop this here while we move on.
Yes, go on.
Amorim's last game. Well, yeah, just this last thing. Amorim's last game for Sporting was against Braga. Braga and 3 other games so far. I'm not saying it's permanent, but I'm just saying between Braga and now, including the Braga game, that's 4 games. Gyökeres has scored 1 goal, and that 1 goal has been a penalty. So I'm just saying, look at his, watch his form between now and the end of the season. I'm not saying it's going to drop. I'm not saying it's going to drop, but I'm saying watch his form between now and the end of the season. That's all I have to say.
You see, and with that being said, it's
can I ask you a question?
No, you can't. No, you cannot.
Let's move.
Cool.
You know me.
Move on.
No question.
You know
I was about to say this.
Go on.
Exactly. I'm just going to say this. Yeah, look. With that being said, Uncle, because it's not a bad segue, and I want to ask 7 Kids Deep this question because he's not spoken. 7 Kids Deep, do you think that with that being said from Uncle, with Gyökeres' recent output, yeah, do you think it's better to get a left wing back in right now as soon as possible, or is it better to get a striker in? What position do you think is most important right now?
I think we should go for a left wing back without a question of a doubt, because Emery's in here. He's trying to rotate the team, see who fits what, who's going to do the best role for him. And from then on in, we'll determine who he wants to buy and what position he wants to fill. And you also need to remember these young players are very moldable. He's trying to get them to play in multiple roles, multiple positions. I mean, we've got Ahmad, who we thought was just a winger. He's playing wing back. He's snatching the ball off players twice and setting up goals. Why can't we have 3 or 4 people intervening as strikers if the other guys aren't quite gunning? We've got Bruno who can play up the top. We've got Mount who can play up the top. We've got options. We've got Ahmad who can play up the top. So why not just sit on what we have right now? Spend the 6 months training them in the system.
Did you say Bruno to play up the front, as in a striker?
As a 4th, 5th option, if no one else is working, Rashford, Bruno, we got the wingers that can play.
No,
up front.
I don't know. We shouldn't be having that type of conversation, please.
No, you miss the context. Is that if Xerxes and Oyland aren't doing it, then you try Rashford. If Rashford isn't doing it, try Ahmad. If Ahmad's not doing it, put Bruno up there. You have Casemiro and Ugarte in midfield. I'm just saying that if the options are running out, we're in bad form. We have attacking options who know how to put the ball in the back of the net. That's like 4 or 5 players down the line. So it's not so much about, hey, we need to go out and get a striker that scores goals now, because we have enough goal threats, and it's proven over the last couple of games that we've seen the improvement. So for me, I want to see another. I want to see a left wing back, like a dedicated one. So we've got Mazza on one side, and we've got a dedicated left wing back on the other side. Someone like Gyökeres or even whatever that Sporting guy is. So get the defense sorted, so we know the wing backs are going to be perfect. So and then you build from there, because we've got 6 months, and Amorim needs to do as much as he can with the players. So what the transfers are going to be like moving forward.
I feel like he needs players to facilitate his formation correctly before he moves on.
Can I quickly jump in?
100%.
I've got to go on the left back
Hold on,
thing.
one second.
Yeah, after Prem.
Yeah, he needs to get players in for his formation to facilitate, so he can make the formation better rather than just getting players for anything. Do you know what I mean? Once he gets players to fit his formation, these ideal plans, I feel like he can now move on to say, okay, cool. That's why I say get Gyökeres in the summer better than getting him in January. Like I agree with you, 7 kids deep as well. Like get the left wing back, get that sorted out first, because we've been crying for a left back for ages. So why don't we just get one in for now? See what the formation looks like and how we play, and then we can look for other players in the future. Yeah.
I agree. All right, go on then.
Perfect.
All right. So in January, right, just get someone for 6 months at left back. I don't care if it's Reguilon. I've said this in the summer. We should have brought him back in. Just get someone in short term, and in January, go speak to Alphonso Davies' camp. Yeah, get this guy, sign a pre-contract, man. He's got 6 months left when it comes to January because he's a free agent. Get him to sign that contract, and I know this club ain't willing to pay for him in January because they're broke. So yeah, get him for free in the summer and sign that contract in January. Go talk to him. That's all I want to say in it. And I'll speak to you, man, and I'll speak to you, man, again.
Yeah. All right, in a bit, Pav. But I would say I wouldn't want to do that, though. Do you know why? Yeah, if we're going to bother getting someone in for 6 months, why not bring in one of the youngsters for the next 6 months, knowing that they're not going to be a starter? Just get someone in, yeah, from the youth team, promote somebody, and we still have the likes of Mazraoui that can play over there, Dalot that can play over there, and Malacia. So I don't see the need. If we're going to do what Pav just said, I would rather just wait. Do the deal for Davies to make sure he comes in the summer and just promote youth.
Yeah, it's a waste of time if we buy somebody like in January that's not going to be here for the next future. That's just a waste of time.
Yeah, even if we get someone like I don't know, anyone from the youth team, promoting them is a big thing for them, innit? Let's think of it from their perspective. So they're thinking, oh shit, I got promoted to the senior team, but I'm only playing 2 games, let's say, for example. So it's just like, how's it going to work for them? Like, let's just not. I agree with your point as well, Joe. But I feel like the best thing we should do is just literally just see what Malacia is saying, innit? That's what our alternative is at the moment.
Malacia.
Yeah, we know you got your coins.
So you can back Malacia, right? But the only youth to promote is Amas, and I don't think he's good enough.
I don't think good enough is the right word.
Pav was making. That's what I was saying. Like he was talking about how to get Reguilon in it, and I'm saying the only alternative for that is Amas in it or Malacia, depending on what you want to do.
I think he's good enough. I still think he's ready. He's good enough. He's just not ready.
But here's the thing, though. This is the thing with the likes of Malacia. But if you've got Malacia there, right, and you have the likes of Dalot, who's obviously the senior team player, right? Swapping between them, if one of them gets injured and if the other one ain't performing, then promote, a left back. Do you get what I'm saying? Then use them. That's what I'm saying. Not to say that they're going to be a starter, but have them as the option rather than going to get another person that's just going to take up space.
The thing about
sometimes. Yeah, go on, Joe. That you haven't spoken. Go on.
I just want to say, the thing about Davies is right. Like it's also a game of chess, because if you leave him as a free agent in the summer, you don't know where he's going to go, unless we have a agreement with Bayern in Jan. Then it makes sense to kind of go for him. But if he's a free agent, he could be going anywhere. So that's
what we're saying. That's what we're saying. Do agreement in January, and wait for him for the summer, and don't bother getting anybody. If we do that agreement in January, don't bother getting anybody. And Pav said to get somebody in for 6 months. I'm saying don't bother. If we know Davies is coming, just get someone from the youth if we need them. Because right now, I honestly don't think we need them if we're getting Davies in the summer.
I hear that. I hear that. I think he just probably meant like Davies should be our priority target to play left wing back. By the way, so I hear it. So maybe that's why he wants him as a priority. Like he wants him to be signed, right? But the thing for me is as well, if the whole 6 month thing makes sense, so you might as well do a pre-agreement at least, because I want to see Davies at United. So that's just my thing. So you do a pre-agreement or you bring him in those 6 months. It doesn't matter for me as long as he's there. He's there. That's my thing. But it really looks like the left wing back is the priority. It doesn't seem like the striker is one until we sell maybe one of them the next season. But I think the left wing back seems to be more of a priority.
I don't want them to sell none of them though, by the way, yeah. I would rather keep them two and buy another one. 86, what do you think?
I'm thinking, yeah. Well, Amorim, I'm thinking what he's thinking is that he's got 3 options that he's got to work out. The conversion rate of the strikers.
Okay.
The success rate of the providers, the service providers, and then also the budget. If he's not getting that conversion rate from his strikers, he's got to bring someone in. If he's getting the service and the ball's not getting in the net. If the providers that we've got are not feeding Xerxes and Rasmus, as we can see, they can put the ball in the back of the net. They can do that very well. They just need that service. And then the budget is going to be letting us know where we can shop and who we can buy. Davis,
he doesn't have to worry about the third thing, bro. The budget is not his concern. He's just the head coach now. You get me? In that respect, yeah. What he needs to do is worry about the conversion rate and the who he's going to be able to put in what position. Because I think that stuff has been taken out of his hands. That's why we've got a head coach now, not a manager. He doesn't have to worry about budget. He tells them to go get who he wants. They should.
Not so much a worry. Not so much a worry. More for when he's speaking to the higher ups, you can say, look, you can see the conversion rate, you can see the provider rate. Can we lean more towards this signing? Because you can see what the numbers are telling me. There's no point in them saying, look, here, Amorim, here's a striker, if the strikers are striking, but the providers are not providing. I think that chat, obviously the veto and all of that stuff's been taken away from him, but the chat is still got to be there. They still have to have that link up of where what we're going to provide for Amorim needs to make sense. There's no point giving him tools that he's not going to use. They're going to stay in the toolbox.
That's a very good point.
Build on that, yeah. I hear you still.
Do you know the funny thing is, if he does keep these strikers striking, then for me the providing would need to be from the left hand side, because Malacia's wasn't providing much crosses. He provided the crosses, but they weren't landing. Yeah, so that's. But
it was nice to see. Let's just say it was nice to see finally that we're getting like crosses from that side, because normally it would be from the right hand side, innit, or anything else. But it was just nice to see.
Hey, I have a quick question for you guys. I just looked at a list of people that like contract are aspiring. We have 3 center backs that may live this year: Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof, Johnny Evans, and also Christian Eriksen. Well, Ahmad's there, but I think he'll sign a new contract. I think we're gonna need another center back and a midfielder too. So, how many people do you think we're actually gonna get this summer?
I'll say 2 or 3.
That one. Go on, 2 or 3. Go on. And what positions then?
The centre back. Your favorite guy, Nasio, he will probably come in.
I would love that.
Midfielders, I don't really have any thought right now for midfielders. But my focus is
Angel Gomez.
Bro, we don't want Angel.
Come
Gomez.
home.
No.
Come home.
He left the club. He left for a reason. You won't play it.
Oh, would you
bring him home, man? Free transfer, man. Free transfer, free. It's free.
There's only one free transfer I'm agreeing with, but that's not going to happen. So here's what it is.
Bro, why do you want Angel?
Bring him home.
Why do you want?
Because he's techie on the ball, can play multiple positions. He would fit in this 3-4-3 formation very well, either in the inside 10 or can play in the middle with a destroyer beside him.
If you want someone that can play multiple midfield positions, why don't we bring back Donny? If you're going Gomez, let's go Donny as well.
The difference is Angel Gomez is playing in a very physical French league, and he's been able to handle his own. The French league is very physical. If it was like some little like fairy league where they're not getting tackled every week, then I'd be like, I'd side eye. But French league is as physical as it comes, so I'd definitely consider it.
Ravel Morrison, maybe?
I don't know about that.
Bring back all the X's.
Bring
We're
back
not doing that.
Pogba as well, man.
Hold on.
Pogba in the 10, man.
Yes.
Bring it back.
Bring
Come
it
on,
back in the
Pogba.
That
10.
one I agree
Yes.
with. Now you're
This
talking.
guy.
Let's go, Pogba. Labille.
Boys.
You
Listen.
and you, no, both of you, get out. Both of you, no, get out, get
Well, let's
out.
move
Both
on.
of
Let's
you.
move on.
Okay, so
One
both-
Matter's still lighting up the A League, by the way. One Matter is killing it over here in Australia.
One matter.
Yeah.
Oh God, not you too. Oh my God, no, yeah, not you as well.
Leave it. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Uncle, Uncle, you're not bringing back none of these guys, are you?
No, well, I mentioned in the chat already. Why are we not having the Alvaro Fernandez conversation?
Now that conversation, I'm willing to have. Yeah, he's not expensive. It's a buyback clause.
16 million pounds only.
I know.
No, man, that one you got to let that one go, man. That one you have to let that go still. For me.
Why should we let it go?
Bro, he left. I feel like it was a bad reason why he left. I don't know what Ten Hag was
He
doing.
left because he wanted game time.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, but then what's the point of having him when we can have Amas? We have Amas there, innit?
No, he played. Alvaro Fernandez has gone out, and you're talking about Amas that is unproven. Alvaro Fernandez has gone out, and I just put it on according to FB Ref, his average rating this season in Benfica is 7.21, which is fantastic for an average rating after playing 16 games. That is high. That's a very high average rating. He plays well. Benfica are third on the table, but then I think they are only a few points below Sporting, and then they've played one game less. So Benfica are third on 28 points. If they play the last game and they win, they'll be on 31 points, only 2 points behind Sporting that are top of the league. So they're not doing bad themselves. And he's playing in a team that are competing against a fantastic Sporting team in the Portuguese league, which is 7.21 rating. Why can't we bring him back?
Can I ask you a question, Uncle? Would you?
Yes, I'm listening.
Would you sign both left backs, Davis and him, or would you just sign?
No, I won't take Davis when I'm signing Fernandez.
Interesting.
Oh,
That's
but
the point I'm trying to make.
And so, who would you sell? Who you selling?
Both, and Velasco Shaw can find the exit door, bro.
Yeah, but Luke Shaw is more. Listen, with the likes of certain people going, like people just said, like Maguire and that. Yeah, would we keep Luke Shaw again? That's the other
but
thing.
Luke Shaw is not going to play left. Luke Shaw is not going to play left wing back.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Centre back with the likes of Evans going, Maguire going. Would we not just keep Luke Shaw though? That's the thing.
No, why should we keep Luke Shaw?
He's a centre back
keep
now.
Luke Shaw. He's gonna break on the left.
You bring in replacements.
Bringing in replacements.
I didn't hear your
None of this
question.
arguing saving his career. 10 years of
It's not
nothing.
me, you know.
we've got
I
from
don't
this
want to
guy.
save him. But I guarantee you, yeah, if Maguire goes,
10 years of
if
nothing.
Maguire goes, bro, if Maguire goes and Evans goes, we're going to need a centre back. I guarantee you, the High Rocks might just keep him.
No, but first of all, when you're,
I don't want to see him again.
If Maguire goes, we're
him
gonna
now.
obviously get a replacement. Sorry, Abs go. Sorry, go on, Abs.
Sorry, I'm sorry. This is my last week because he's rattled me with this short talk. Bruv,
Go on.
10 plus seasons of nothing, right? Man has been available for what? Less than 50% of his game. Every day, I used to hear about Martial this. This guy's worse. Impossible. He can't stay. Don't try and rebrand him into something else. Let him go.
He's going to do it. It's going to happen.
Bro.
I don't like Luke
Joe,
Shaw. He's going to stay.
Joe, let us have this conversation. Joe, let us have this conversation.
Let's talk about it.
We are playing three center backs, right? So we need at least 6, 2 for each position. Ideally, in an ideal world, the starting 3 would be Lisandro at left center back, De Ligt at the center, and Euro. Maybe Mazraoui at the right. But we are clearly saying that Mazraoui is an option. So I think Mazraoui and Euro at the right is complete. Now, As it stands, it is Maguire and De Ligt at the center. At the left, it is Licha and Luke Shaw. If Maguire leaves, and in this conversation, I have not mentioned Johnny Evans. So we have 6. Plus
What about Lindelof, Uncle? Don't forget.
So my point is Johnny Evans and Lindelof can leave, and we will still have 6 people for those positions. That is the first point that I'm trying to make. So Johnny Evans leaving is not a crisis. Let us not make it sound like
the
one.
last season though.
Well, he wasn't even meant to be
That is my point. I don't want it to make it sound like a crisis. We don't need a John Evans replacement, technically speaking. Well, who we need replacements for is Maguire and Luke Shaw if they leave.
And Lindelof. Lindelof is on last year too. Lindelof's there too.
Yeah, if Lindelof leaves, we technically do not need a replacement for him as well.
I think United will sign Branthwaite, by the way. I feel like
Jared Bedway.
Bro, we've not triggered Maguire's contract. We've not triggered Maguire's contract extension yet.
Which is why I said if Maguire leaves, we have to replace him. If Shaw leaves, we have to replace him. We do not technically have to replace Johnny Evans and Lindelof.
So we'd still have to buy 2 defenders then.
Yeah,
so
we need
more
people.
than 3 players then. That's what I'm saying to you. We'd have to
No,
buy
but I've mentioned 4 already. I've mentioned 4 already in the squad. I've mentioned Lisandro. I've mentioned De Ligt. I've mentioned Mazraoui. I've mentioned Euro. That's 4 already.
Yeah,
and then
have to buy 2 more.
And then we have to buy 2 more to replace Maguire and Luke Shaw.
Amarin did promote that 16-year-old. He did promote that 16-year-old into the squad. So he might be thinking about like promoting him next year. So there's one center back from the academy that he's been training with.
I think long term United, by the way, I feel like long term United want to get Branthwaite and they'll bench Lisha, bro. I feel like it. They probably want to.
But regardless of what it is, my point is we need.
Hold on, Uncle. 1 second. Tonyo, what did you say about a 16-year-old?
He's been practicing with the first team squad. So like Amarin might be thinking about like him in the future. So he might be like trying to like get him in for the future. Not right now, but like he might be thinking about him in the future.
So maybe not.
This news came out during the Ipswich game. I remember even the youth they're talking about. Yeah, he was training with the first team squad. I forgot his name.
He's like 6'3".
Maybe
He's
not.
huge.
But my point is, it's easier to replace 2 center backs. If Maguire and Luke Shaw leaves, we can replace them. They are not. Then we can go to the market, and especially because they are bench options, especially because they are not the starting center backs. So I'm sure we can get good value for money in the market for defenders to replace them. We can even go slightly older. We can go a little bit older than the 25 just because they are backup options.
Look. What I think is, it depends on how you're looking at this. Are you trying to save money or are you trying to get rid of it? Because if you're trying to get rid of it, I can see Ineos getting rid of Casemiro. They're going to save on wages. So I can see them doing that and getting rid of Maguire and all of them. But they could
Ineos need peas, fam. Ineos need peas. They just raised the price tickets, fam. They need peas. They're not going to be getting rid of nobody on a free thing, fam. Everybody's getting sold, even if it's just for 5 mil. They're not getting anybody for free, fam. Nobody. They're selling.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're probably gonna sell Casemiro next season. Right? Eriksen leaves on a free, the rest of the defenders leave on a free. But if Shaw has to go, he has to go. But if he survives, I can see why he survives. At least for next season.
So for the people that want Shaw to be sold, who's going to buy him?
That's a good question.
People know. I do think people would buy him, though. You know, West Ham would take a shot. I think them kind of people would buy him.
You know, he's on a high contract.
West Ham that took Wan-Bissaka. You want him to now take our Shaw?
Wan-Bissaka has scored 2 goals for them. Wan-Bissaka has scored 2 goals for them.
He's got against Arsenal. The man has scored against Arsenal.
Wan-Bissaka contract is low. Shaw contract is high. Isn't it like 200? He's going to take a 200 injury from players.
150.
Wait. Hold on. How many goals has Wan-Bissaka scored for United? Does anyone know?
I think 1. He scored 1. I remember 1.
1. How many goals has he scored for West Ham?
2.
brother.
He's improved. He's improved. There you go.
But hold on.
Yeah, but I don't think
Hold on a
I don't
second.
think
Hold on.
Luke Shaw. I don't think
Respectfully,
Luke
though.
Shaw.
No, guys,
Yeah.
respectfully, we all said that he wasn't good attacking. There's
Yeah.
a few fans that kept saying he's actually good attacking. You need to use him more.
Of course, he's not good attacking when he's not giving the ball.
No, but you can't not just because somebody has scored 2 goals does not mean automatically he's.
He doesn't get the ball. He don't pass with the ball. Look how many touches he have in game United. Less than 15.
When he was
let me
at
see how many
West
goals.
Ham, when he played against Arsenal, I think he did a great job. Like that was a great game for him. But as for at United, he was kind of like he weren't able to be his potential as enough. Do you know what I mean? All he was good for is defended, but attacking wise, we saw it with his dribbling. He couldn't dribble, or he makes like
2 goals his whole time. At Man United.
Do you know who the teams are against or no?
I'll have to look into it in more detail.
Southampton. I thought he scored in that 9-0 we won.
Have a look at how many goals Deleu's got.
Newcastle, Southampton. Yeah, Newcastle. He scored against Newcastle as well. 2021 season.
Check the lowest one if you can. Yeah.
Diogo Dalot. All right, let me check.
But all I'm saying is like throughout Wan-Bissaka's career at United is 2 goals. So I feel like moving him on to West Ham was a good idea for him to elevate
let's
himself.
not do the Wan-Bissaka revision.
100%.
So
I know, Abs, you still favor him, innit?
Are we saying Luke Shaw should follow him? Because I think he should. I think when Luke Shaw leaves United, he'll be able to play more than 50% of the games in the season.
Yeah, let him go. Let his people go. Yes. Like,
how much are you selling him for? What's
Second,
Luke Shaw's
price? Stop. For all the people in here that's not hit the like button yet, and you're still here watching, yeah.
1, 2.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
You know you like it, bro. Just like the thing, fam. Like the thing, blood.
Hey, you want to know Dalot's numbers, yeah?
Yeah, go on.
So I have to remove his time at Milan on loan, yeah? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 goals.
At United, yeah.
More than what? At United, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. But we just need to give Wan-Bissaka his time right now for the season to see what he does. But right now, I feel like he's doing good for West Ham. So let's just leave.
In terms of assists, though, he's got good assists, decent-ish assist numbers.
Yeah.
What are they? Talk to us.
Oh, no, I just need to remove the Porto ones from youth days. 1, 4, 7.
What's the source?
9.
Transfer
marked.
Yeah, I thought that.
I remember during pre-season, I actually checked
9,
the numbers,
10,
and they were not the goals, but relatively GA were very similar. Him and
goals, 12
Delors and Wan-Bissaka, which was not great
13,
in my eyes.
13? 12.
Someone said 12
assists.
Yeah,
12 assists. Yeah, 12 assists for Dalot in his time at United.
And how many years?
If you have to remove 1 year on loan at Milan. He's been here since Mourinho's first season. No, third season.
That's kind of bad, isn't it? 12 assists and
18, 19. But you have to also consider the style of play.
It's not good enough. It's terrible.
It's not good, but you have to also consider the style of play that he was playing under Oli, under Jose. It's not the best.
Yeah.
It is not good enough.
That's about right. Yeah, 6 goals, 12 assists. Yeah, exactly.
I just think.
It'll be really good.
Go on, Josh. Go on.
No, you go on. I was going to change the topic to the Luke Shaw thing because the thing is, what I'm trying to say is, we know that Lisha is suspended for the Arsenal game, right?
Yeah.
So we'll find out. We're going to find out who plays that role, and when we see who plays that role, I think it's going to be pretty obvious that we might just keep Shaw for 1 more season and buy either Brand Faith or someone to stay on the bench or something as a rotation. That's my prediction.
Sadly, I agree with you, Josh. I think he will stay next season because of the options, and we won't be able to sell him, sadly. But it is what it is.
I think Luke Shaw is left, right? With no extension.
What do you say?
A couple years ago, he had an extension. Yeah, I think 10 hours first season.
Yeah, that was 3. He had 3 years on the 10 hours.
2027. For my
exactly.
This man might
so we have to sell
guys, this is what I'm saying. Guys,
he's gonna leave with a free. He's on tour next year week unless we sell him and pay half his wages.
Go on.
Why? What?
That's the only way.
Throw away 100K a week. Hey.
No, he's on 150 a week. Like,
so throw away 75K a week.
This might be the only way. This man.
So just be like this. Here's the money. Hold that.
Yeah. But why did they we're gonna sell it? Maguire said, nah, I want my money in full.
Nah, bro.
Maguire,
nah.
I'm gonna sell Maguire to West Ham and he said I want my money in full.
It's business. I understand it.
He didn't want to leave, but we tried. How many times did we try?
He said he didn't want to take the pay cut.
What?
Maguire did not want the pay cut to go to West Ham.
Hey guys, true. John Morgan asked a great question, you know. One more year of Maguire, what are you man saying?
Bro, yes, it is what it is.
I'm not mad at
with me, I'm not judging him right now. I'm not judging Maguire. I think he's been fine. I don't see any mistakes.
Maguire for a backup is not a bad option.
Exactly.
For a backup to that centre back, it's not a bad option.
And funny
enough, I agree.
And you know what? Right? If we get do you know the thing is, if Maguire plays the way he's been playing since Ten Hag took over, right, till the end of his tenure here, then we've got our money worth out of him anyway. So he can leave on a free. Then I think.
Wait, Joe, did you write that comment?
To be fair, the moment we took the captaincy off him, he improved massively, right? Now, I would rather have him playing as centre back than Luke Shaw. So yes, I'm down for that. Give him a year extension. Get rid of that fatso at left back, bro.
Yo, don't be rude. No need for that, bro. No need to waste.
He's professionally injured and part-time professional football player. I'm not interested, bro. I had enough of it.
Sean Morgan, nice to see you, bro. How you doing?
What? I'm good. I'm done with Luke Shaw. You know what? Is funny, eh? The manager said that Luke Shaw's saying he wants to play. Bro, where was his attitude when we needed you? You know what I mean? The club didn't start when the manager arrived. The club started when we signed you, or your career started when we signed you, and you've constantly been injured. So,
hey,
bro.
Joe Blackman, KG started the show. Lock it off.
What?
KG started his show. Yeah.
Why did he start early?
I don't know.
Anyway,
he started right now. Lock it off.
All right. Guys, see you later. Make sure you like and subscribe with it. Go straight over to DR Sports right now.
Sell the Fatso Luke Shaw.
Sell Luke Shaw.
Preem is coming.
What?
Drop a bomb.
Back with a vengeance. KG's back with an entrance. Big up to those in attendance.
Look at this.
Reds come together like Tetris. No rules, this one's reckless. KG, this one's crazy.
You're too lucky this.
None can compare with the KG done. Better take cover when he drops that. Going on reckless, trust it's on. It's that time when he drops that.
I said drop a bomb, Dad.